Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal has announced the next phase of unlock relaxations. Remember, today is day one of Unlock India. Barber shops and salons will reopen in Delhi, but spas will remain closed. There will also be no restrictions on the number of persons traveling in four-wheelers, two-wheelers, auto rickshaws, e-rickshaws and other vehicles in this city. The restriction of odd even for shops in marketplaces has also been lifted. The Chief Minister added that there will also be no restrictions on the functioning of industries in the national capital. But while Delhi is opening up, the Chief Minister has decided to shut Delhi's borders with its neighbouring states of Haryana and Uttar Pradesh. In a big decision, the Delhi government has decided to seal its borders for the next 7 days, allowing only essential services. Chief Minister Kejriwal has said that Delhi's hospitals will be overwhelmed if they keep the borders open. He's sought suggestions from Delhiites on opening or closing the border.
अभी तक जितनी चीज़ें खोली जा चुकी हैं वो खुली रहेंगी। इसके अलावा बार्बर और सैलून की दुकानें खोलने का निर्णय लिया गया है। स्पा नहीं खोला जाएगा, अभी केवल बार्बर और सैलून की दुकानें खोली जा रही हैं। जैसे हम बॉर्डर्स खोलेंगे, देश भर से लोग अपना इलाज कराने के लिए दिल्ली में आएंगे। जो आज मैं आपको कह रहा हूं कि 9,500 बेड्स हम लोगों ने आपके लिए रखे हुए हैं अगर कोरोना हो जाता है, जबकि आज दिल्ली में केवल 2300 पेशेंट्स हैं। ये बेड्स तो 2 दिन के अंदर भर जाएंगे अगर पूरे देश भर से लोग दिल्ली के अंदर आ गए तो। फिलहाल 1 हफ्ते के लिए हम दिल्ली के बॉर्डर सील कर रहे हैं। एसेंशियल सर्विसेज जारी रहेंगी। सरकारी ऑफिसर्स जो हैं वो आई कार्ड के बेसिस पे आ जा सकेंगे, पास लेकर आया जाया जा सकेगा। तो फिलहाल 1 हफ्ते के लिए हम अपने बॉर्डर सील कर रहे हैं। उसके बाद जो सुझाव आएंगे, जो आप मार्गदर्शन करेंगे, जो आप जैसा कहेंगे, सभी के सुझावों के आधार के ऊपर हम एक्सपर्ट से भी बात करेंगे और भी बहुत सारे लोगों से बात करेंगे। उसके आधार पर अगले हफ्ते फिर इसके बारे में एक ठोस निर्णय ले पाएंगे।
Ankit Tyagi reporting from Delhi. He's been watching the opening up of the national capital firsthand since early this morning. Ankit, lots of opening up, lots to look forward to in the national capital, but the borders have to be sealed. I mean, the numbers that you've been reporting from the city over the last few days, in many ways justify this, but this is going to be difficult. It's going to be a difficult 1 week in Delhi.
That's right, Shiv. What a contradiction. While Delhi is opening up, the borders have been sealed. Let me just first very quickly give you a sense of where I'm standing here, Shiv. This is the Connaught Place area, the very heart of the national capital. The restrictions that were put here till yesterday, that, all these shops, according to their number, would be able to open. Only odd even shops were allowed to open on respective days. Those restrictions have now been taken off. So that what announcements Mr. Kejriwal made, that order is being signed, and it will be in fact percolated down to all the DMs and SDMs and the Delhi police in a short while. So if somebody wants to open their shop in Connaught Place, now they can open it till 9 p.m. But apart from that, the big controversy, Shiv, is about the Chief Minister speaking about reservation of beds for people of Delhi. There are two fundamental questions to it. Number one, can the Delhi government do it?
Yes.
The Supreme Court has, multiple times said that health is a universal right. The hospitals, the governments, it has to be given a basic right to the people. And apart from that, it also is suggesting that with opening up, as we start to live with coronavirus,
yes,
remember the number of cases in Delhi for the last 5 days have always crossed 1,000 mark.
Yes.
So the government wants to prepare. They don't want the health infrastructure of Delhi hospitals to overrun, and possibly that is why the decision has been taken.
Ironic, but some things need to be done. We'll have to see how it's actually going to be implemented. So some good news and some troubling news as far as Delhi is concerned. Thanks very much, Ankit, for that update. Well, chaos has, as you can imagine, been reigning in the national capital on Monday morning as the movement from Delhi and its neighboring towns of Gurgaon, Noida, Ghaziabad, Faridabad has been completely restricted. Delhi is almost circular in shape for those who don't live here, and it is surrounded on all sides by Haryana and Uttar Pradesh. Well, as the borders remain shut, while the Home Ministry guidelines on unlocking India say that inter and intrastate travel is now allowed, UP and Haryana have continued to seal their borders with Delhi. Monday morning saw, therefore, massive traffic jams at the Delhi-Gurgaon and Delhi-Noida borders. And with the capital too now restricting non-essential movement, expect more traffic jams in the evening as people try to get home. Well, from Delhi to the rest of India, the country has entered the first phase of Unlock India 1.0 after nearly 2 months of this coronavirus-induced shutdown in the country. From Punjab to Tamil Nadu, all states have eased restrictions considerably except in containment zones. The present phase comes after 4 rounds of a lockdown across the country. While most states have allowed the resumption of public transport and interstate travel from today, hotels, restaurants and places of worship will open on the 8th of June in most states. States like Uttar Pradesh and Telangana have announced the continuation of their lockdown curbs in containment zones.
Padharo Mare Des. The monuments and museums of Jaipur and Rajasthan are once again saying this on the first day of Lockdown 5.0. You see behind me performance which is currently on to welcome people to arrive at the Albert Hall, the iconic museum of Jaipur, and there are several programs that have been going on across various monuments of Jaipur to welcome people, but there are special arrangements that have been made out here to ensure that safety is paramount. There are 40 home guards which have been placed out here, and there are strict instructions that have been given to ensure that these home guards wear masks, that their hands are completely covered, that they use sanitizers, so that they take precautions not just for themselves but for the visiting tourists as well.
With Unlock 1.0, life is coming back to normal. I'm here at Howrah Bridge where the crowd has swelled up multiplication-wise, and as far as the crowd is concerned, what you see is the number of cycles has increased manifold. That means that people who are commuting by cycle has increased, and that's a reason to it why more and more people are turning to this mode of transport. Unbelievable but true, because that is the reason of commuting between the distance from Hooghly, Howrah up to Kolkata, which is a distance of nothing less than 50 to 60 kilometers per day. The private buses are just handful in numbers. The prices and the tariff of the buses are flying high. And as far as the number of buses or the autos are concerned, that is much lesser than what is required on the streets. At a time when people have no more option but to take these two-wheelers, rather cycles, bicycles, and rush to their workplace only to ensure that they are able to earn a living amidst the COVID-19 pandemic. With camera person Tapan Naskar, this is Manogya Loiwal in Howrah Bridge for India Today.
Announcing more relaxations in Unlock 1, Uttar Pradesh government has allowed inter-district bus travel from today, and I'm right now at the Alambagh bus terminal, and you can see that passengers who are entering the bus terminal are being screened. Thermal screening of every passenger is being done, and after the thermal screening, all the passengers are being given sanitizers. You can see that everyone entering the bus terminal is wearing masks as a precautionary measure as advised by the state government, and even the employees of the Uttar Pradesh Road Transport Corporation who are here are also wearing masks. And the seating capacity protocol have to be maintained by the bus drivers and conductors. No one will be allowed to stand in the buses. So Uttar Pradesh government has announced more relaxations. Also taxis and auto services have been started from today, and the drivers of the taxis and autos have been told to ensure that they wear masks as a precautionary measure. In Lucknow with camera person Sanjay Singh, Nilanshu Shukla for India Today.
The Jammu and Kashmir administration has extended the lockdown in the entire Union territory till June 8. As per the order of the J&K administration, it needs to first assess the situation before taking a decision on reopening of prohibited activities in non-containment zones. Remember, as per the guidelines of the Ministry of Home Affairs, the states and union territories will have to reopen prohibited activities in non-containment zones in a phased manner. In the first phase, temples, restaurants and malls will have to be reopened by the states and union territories while following the SOPs that have been laid down by the Ministry of Home Affairs. So far, the J&K administration is tight-lipped about reopening of prohibited activities in non-containment zone, but it has said that it will first assess the situation and then only a decision will be taken. Till June 8, the existing restrictions will continue to remain in place. Remember, Jammu and Kashmir has been divided into 3 zones: red zones, orange zones and green zones. The districts which fall in the category of red zones, there are strict prohibitory orders there and it will continue to remain in place. So lockdown 4.0, technically speaking, has been extended till June 8 here in Jammu and Kashmir, and the government of Jammu and Kashmir has said that it's going to assess the situation and it will issue fresh guidelines for the post-June 8 period. With video journalist Neeraj Kumar, this is Sunil Bhatt reporting from Jammu for India Today.
Joining me live, India Today's Shalini Lobo reporting from Chennai, Nolan Pinto reporting from Bengaluru. Nolan, Bengaluru and Karnataka are actually the places that actually showed the way as far as opening up is concerned. So, this should be fairly uncomplicated for Karnataka. How's it going on day one of unlock?
Well, in fact, Shiv, it makes there's no difference as such over here in Bengaluru and also Karnataka per se, because during the last phase of the lockdown, everything opened up in the city and Karnataka. Industries, shops and establishments, whatever was allowed by the center, Karnataka followed it. Everything was open. The biggest disappointment, Shiv, as of today, is that gyms can't be open. The government wanted to open that. In fact, SOPs were actually issued, but that did not happen. But nevertheless, on the 8th of June, while everything else opens across the nation, whatever directives have been given by the MHA, all those will open in Karnataka as well.
Yes.
But another difference over here is that AC buses are now plying on the streets of the city, some 32, 33 buses, basically to the IT hubs, all the places in Bengaluru. They have allowed those buses, provided people follow the rules of masks and social distancing while being seated. So these are the only changes that we can actually see in Bangalore.
Okay, so Bengaluru has already been opened up. So, no real difference on the ground. The people of Bengaluru are already used to being the pioneers as far as shaking off the lockdown and getting on with life. What are things like in Chennai, Shalini? Things have taken some steps. We've seen your excellent reports on markets opening up. Today, we're going to be putting your story on air on, salons in the city and how they're, kicking back into gear. How is Chennai being treated on day one of unlock?
Good afternoon, Shiv. Well, it's day one of Unlock India, and the traffic has definitely increased on the road because now public transport minus buses in Chennai, Thiruvallur, Kanchipuram and Chengalpet are plying the road. So it's 50% of the fleet with 60% seating arrangement. In Chennai, however, you have autos and cab services that are active starting today. Autos can function with 2 passengers, cab services can function with 3 passengers. Now for the IT sector, as you know how important the entire OMR stretch is for Chennai, they can operate with 20% workforce. Private concerns can operate with 50% workforce. When you move outside Chennai, you can have 100% workforce for IT sectors and also 100% workforce for industries as well. This is the situation as of now. Your big jewelry shops, your big textile showrooms like a Pothys or a Sarvana stores also is allowed to function, but they will have to have 50% staff working and only 5 customers at a time. Salons also are allowed to function starting today, but all the places, air conditioners are going to be turned off strictly, so people have to make arrangements for fans or they have to be prepared to sweat it off in the Chennai heat because air conditioners are not being permitted, and cops are also making regular checks to see whether people are breaking that norm. Masks are compulsion, social distancing a compulsion, and yes, now the onus is on the people to take it forward to ensure that the number of cases don't increase in Tamil Nadu, as Tamil Nadu is the second worst affected in the country right now.
Thanks very much, Shalini and Nolan. Day one of Unlock India. Good to see two of India's most progressive cities, Bengaluru and Chennai, doing well, taking all precautions and yet respecting the impulse towards opening up once again. We'll keep coming back to the both of you. Thank you for now. As India begins to unlock, Maharashtra, which remains the worst COVID-affected state by miles, has launched Mission Begin Again. Same thing, Unlock India, Begin Again. The plan is to open up from the state from the 3rd of June in 3 phases. Check this report, it's got the details. Maharashtra, the state with the highest number of COVID-19 cases, has embarked on an ambitious plan to open up. Called Mission Begin Again, Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray's government has devised a 3-phase exit plan. In phase 1, that will begin on the 3rd of June, outdoor activities like cycling, jogging in public places will be allowed from 5 a.m. to 7 p.m. Government offices will also open with 15% occupancy. In phase 2, from the 5th of June, all markets except malls and market complexes will open from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Taxis and auto rickshaws will be allowed to operate only for essential services. While in phase 3, all private offices can begin with 10% strength from the 8th of June.
Even with rising cases, Maharashtra government has moved towards lifting of lockdown in phase-wise manner. The first would be allowing individual exercises, second, opening up individual shops, and third, allowing private offices to work with 10% of the workforce. What we can say is that living in the times of corona has formally begun.
However, schools, colleges, religious places, cinema halls and local trains and Mumbai Metro will continue to remain shut. While the government has taken the big step, one hopes that Maharashtra will be able to bring the surging cases under control. With Mustafa Sheikh and Sahil Joshi in Mumbai, Bureau Report, India Today. Well, more than 1,000 more coronavirus cases in the last 24 hours. Tamil Nadu's COVID-19 count has breached the 22,000 mark today, being the second most affected state in the country after Maharashtra. Tamil Nadu has reported 1,149 fresh cases since Sunday. Chennai has seen a huge spike with 805 new cases being just from the city. But even as cases rise, the state government has given some relaxations except in containment zones. 50% public transport is now allowed except Chennai, Kanchipuram, Tiruvallur and Chengalpattu. With the virus still at large, the government has put out an order stating that buses are to operate only with 60% seating capacity to ensure social distancing is maintained. IT industries are allowed to work with 20% capacity and the remaining are encouraged to work from home. Private concerns are allowed to operate with 100% workforce.
Chennai can work with 100% workforce. However, work from home is encouraged. But if you're in Chennai and you're working in the IT sector here, only 20% of the workforce is allowed. That is a minimum of 40 people can come in, work and go. Big relief to those who have been waiting to use the hair salons. Hair salons are going to be opened as well. But then again, no air conditioning, masks mandatory and social distancing to be maintained. Relief coming in to people across the state of Tamil Nadu and also to Chennai. However, Chennai still records the highest number of cases. So theatres will not be open, malls will not be open, gyms are not going to be open, places of worship are not going to be open, pubs are not going to be open, the Tasmac liquor shops in Chennai are not going to be open, but however they open across in the other districts in the state. With video journalist Divin Rajkumar, this is Shalini Lobo in Chennai for India Today.
A Chennai family, meanwhile, has donated 5 lakh rupees to feed the needy affected due to the coronavirus lockdown. The amount had been saved up by them for their daughter's education. The generosity has been praised by Prime Minister Modi as well. Here's that full, heart-touching story.
Salon owner C. Mohan and his family have done what only a few would be willing to do. Mohan, a Madurai resident in Tamil Nadu, had saved 5 lakh rupees for his daughter Neha's education. But then the coronavirus happened, prompting the government to lock the country, virtually setting off a humanitarian crisis. Mohan donated 5 lakh to feed the needy, money that he had saved over the years.
நாங்கள் பாப்பாக்காண்டி பேங்கில் 5 லட்ச ரூபா சேர்த்து வச்சுருந்தோம். பின்னாடி வருங்காலத்துக்கு படிப்புக்காண்டி கல்யாண செலவுக்காண்டி அதை எடுத்து பாப்பா வந்து ஏம்மா உங்களால் முடிஞ்ச உதவி பண்ணுங்கம்மா அப்படின்ட்டு அழுதுச்சு. நாங்களும் சேர்ந்து எங்களால் முடிஞ்சது 1500 பேர்த்துக்கு குடும்பத்துக்கு அரிசி காய்கறி மளிகை ஜாமான் எல்லாமே வழங்கினோம்.
Neha, who's a class 9 student and aspires to become a civil servant, convinced her father to donate the money to the needy.
Hello everyone, this is Rahul Kamal here. Hope you enjoyed this video. For the latest news and analysis, like and subscribe the India Today YouTube channel and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated.